everybody goes through something different in life, whether it be grief. Everybody, has like a bad breakup. So for me, it hits close to home because there's been multiple points in my life where I've had to go through that grieving stage, whatever it may be.
I think for the first record, we were kind of figuring out who we were. I think that on this album, we definitely have figured out our sound and our fingerprint.
On the Mend is really about coming to the realization that you're getting older. Things maybe that you took for granted in your younger years. You always think that you're invincible when you're young. You always think that the things that are there are always going to be there.
For me, it's kind of a reflection of a lot of the problems I've gone through with people leaving my life, in the figurative and the literal sense. A lot of the lyrics are kind of reflective of a lot of the issues I've gone through regarding grief. So personally, it's kind of close to home.
This album was written during a really difficult time. And I remember when all this stuff went down, I just felt this emptiness. I wasn't able to get with Tyler and write the songs like we did with Something Better. So I kind of had to figure out, other ways of getting things out.
Writing songs during a pandemic when all we've ever done is be together and write in the same space and room was definitely a curveball thrown at us. It raised a lot of questions for us, specifically about if we can even do any of this. When it started, we didn't have any sort of following like we do now. And it was really discouraging, but it's important not to get discouraged.
And I remember way back before we had any fans, we did this very small interview with a radio station in Amsterdam, New York. And they asked us what's the one thing that you want to tell other musicians such as yourself? And we said, just don't get discouraged. And with that notion, we kept each other motivated, Tyler and I especially. And, having artists like Matt and John coming in to help me get certain songs to where I wanted them, those were all pushes in the right direction. But our fans were the biggest inspiration for any of this. I mean, I'm not so sure if I could have written these songs if I didn't feel the need to share more of our story with our fans.
First writing process was interesting because it kind of came on so quickly. It was like the first day after our first rehearsal together with me earlier this year, and Austin called me over and was like, hey, you want to help work on this song? And I was like, sure. I was a little nervous, I must say, but we got there and things kind of just were, off to a great start.
Something Better is more of like a monochrome. It's very black and white, and it's very dark. And On the Mend is that sense of getting over like a grieving process. You're at that acceptance stage of grieving, and you're starting to see different colors and things really start to come to life.
Something Better was a significantly darker album. It was a lot more angsty. I spent a lot of time being all broken up about my ex-girlfriend from high school. And at that moment, it felt like the world was just dark and everything was sad. And I felt, cut out of a situation that I wished I could have fixed. And I got a lot of people get into this mindset. And I was driven by my desire to fix a situation that was beyond fixing. I had a lot of anger and a lot of hurt and sadness, and I needed to get it out. And thank God that Tyler called me that one time, because I don't think I would have. I don't know how I would have gotten it out. The music that we made together was extremely accommodating for the things I wanted to say. And Tyler was with me every step of the way doing it. And we felt a connection to the songs, and we knew exactly what we wanted to say. And I think as far as the new album goes, we kind of put childish things like that aside. And I'm not trying to diminish them in any way. They meant a lot, and they make us who we are today. But this album is far more mature and far more, adult and accepting things that just aren't meant to be, and realizing your own flaws and not faulting others for theirs.
For me, it's about recovery and looking forward and knowing who you are and knowing your worth. Just to know that there's people out there that feel the same things and connect with the same things that we do. We're like a family.
Addiction is a big theme throughout the album. And I think a lot of us, or a lot of people, felt that it was easy to fall even deeper into addiction if you ever struggled with it beforehand because of the pandemic and being in your own space and just in your own head, not knowing the uncertainty of the situation, not knowing if it was ever going to get better or if you were safe, if you were going to be okay, if your loved ones were going to be safe. And I think there was a lot of fear that I was feeling writing these songs, and scared for what it meant for us as a band and whether our career was ever going to flourish.
When we record any song, it always starts out as a demo that Austin typically produces himself. And a lot of the times he's in these certain mindsets where he does these vocal takes and it's just it. He spent a lot of time producing his vocals at my studio. We listened back to them and they just didn't give us the right emotion or vibe that this song originally had when it was in its demo stage. And we ended up having to use the demo takes.
There's a lot that I want people to take away from the album, and I really hope that it, connects with them the way that I felt connected to the songs and the way we all felt connected to what we were saying in these songs. And the fact that the album is called On the Mend is very interesting to me, because it was written during a time that the entire world was feeling this fear. And now that we see a little bit of a light at the end of the tunnel with all of this stuff, I just hope people feel that from the album, because, we are all kind of on the mend here.
There's a lot of people struggling out there, and I just hope that these songs inspire them to not lose hope, keep pushing the needle forward even when it seems impossible. Fight for love and your health and everything that means something to somebody.
I hope that what other people can take away from this is that they aren't alone in the process of grieving.
Just know that you're not alone. We all go through life. We all grieve. We all have different demons inside of us, whether it be addiction, loss, whatever it may be. Just know that you're never alone.
I mean, this is like an album for people who feel maybe a little lonely and a little lost because, maybe they just don't feel like they're understood. I just want people to see that the album is about healing, and it is about getting better, and it is about choosing to make less harmful decisions to your health, and as hard as it may be, to at least have the will to try.
Reading the comments every single day, knowing that our music touches people from all over the world is just, there's no feeling like it. And we wouldn't be here without them.
We want nothing more than to just play music for people. We love reading all the comments, and we get amazing messages from people and telling us how much these songs mean to them. And I can only hope that these songs do the same thing. And I guess where we want to be is on a stage in front of all of our amazing, beautiful fans, and to just let them know that we appreciate it and we want to sing these songs with them. I want to feel connected on a more personal level.
It's been hard getting back out there, but we're determined. We will make it happen one way or another.